Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Sunday morning to you guys. Hope everyone is doing well today. We got a full day ahead of us. After this, I'm going live over on the other channel. We're going to talk about the NAACP Image Awards a little bit, and we're going to talk about some latest updates to the Larry Reid Bishop Jordan lawsuit. Okay. Um, But for right now, we're gonna get into this Belle, and then of course we have Real Housewives of Potomac tonight at 9:15 on this channel. I'm gonna try, but I have something else I need to do today, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna have time to do another review. But I may try to slide in the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. If I can, I will. The awards were last night. The Image Awards were last night. So with that being said, let's get into this Belle Collective review. This is season 7, episode 3. So let's talk about it. We pick up where we left off. We are at Selena's birthday party. Hold on, put my light over here a little bit. My light's a little bit. Put my light. Okay. We were at Selena's birthday party, and they still in the parking lot arguing, child. Here's the thing: Tisha versus Latrice. Latrice says that she's still mad at Tisha from last season, whatever they went through. And she said to add on top of it, she found out that Tisha has been reaching out to her former employees. Now, Tisha says that's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. And Latrice said it's not a lie. She said, you called Josh. And she said, she said, I don't even have Josh's phone number. I never called Josh. So they called Josh on the phone. And Josh says, yeah, you did call me. You did call me. And she was like, what are you talking about? She said, you called me. I never called you, Leticia. I never called you. And she said, you did call me. You did call me. And she pulls up her phone and she starts to show text messages. She said, and of course it was, you text me. No, you text me. You call me. No, you call me. Now, here's what I'm going to say about Glenn. You know, I ain't got a lot to say about Glenn. And actually, this episode, I'm kind of on Glenn's side on a couple of things, but we'll get to that. But Glenn came through there and said, He said, what the hell? What's going on? All this, like, it looked like a pile up. It did look like a mess. And y'all know that it almost got physical. We saw where it almost got physical. Glenn did what he was supposed to do as a husband. I don't want to hear nothing about he got in women's faces and he did this. No, he didn't. He went in there. He pulled his wife away. And what he told her was, he said, you're not going to win this. He said, you're not going to win this. He said, that is her former employee. It don't matter what the truth is. You're not going to win this argument because it's her former employee. She done already talked to him. He done already said it. And all he's repeating is what he told her. It doesn't matter whether it's true or not. You're not going to win. And he pulled her out of that. And that's what he was supposed to do. So all of that later on when Latrice was like, he got in my face and that don't no man need to be jumping in my face. He didn't jump in your face. He pulled his wife out of a situation that was real bad. You got all them women yelling and hollering and she by herself trying to defend herself. Well, not by herself, but no, he didn't do nothing wrong. He didn't yell at you. He didn't get in your face. He pulled his wife out of there. And that's what he was supposed to do. So I didn't like that Latrice tried to turn that around and make it seem like Glenn was doing something that he wasn't supposed to be doing. Now, again, at the end of the day, you know, we know Glendale for his works, but in that situation, he did what he was supposed to do as a husband. Right. Plus, at one time, Josh and Latrice were friends. So he's not just a former employee, he was a friend. Now I'm gonna tell you what I think. And I know I know Scotty knows these people, so he may have a different insight that I have, but I'm telling you where I am from the outside looking in. I'm gonna tell you my opinion from the outside looking in. Now, so next scene we see Leticia talking to Donald, who's her producer. She's talking to him on the phone about stuff. You know, it's basically a work scene, you know, trying to make it look like she's doing this hard work. Let me say this. And I know this is going to sound real ignorant of me when I say this, and I'm sorry. It's just going to have to be what it's going to be. Donald. Hey, Donald, sir. If you're going to be an executive producer on a television show that you want to see go, like, be a mainstream show, you want OWN to pick it up, or you want it to be a successful YouTube show or podcast or something along those lines, and you are going to be the executive producer, you're the business behind this, you're the man behind this business, I need you to work on your subject verb agreement. First of all, test assist is not a word. It doesn't exist. It's not a real thing. It's test. I need you to work on your subject verb agreement. Okay. There we go. Now, what I didn't realize was Donald is bankrolling this, that he is putting money into this production because he believes in Leticia. Now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, and everybody might not agree with me, but I'm kind of with Glendale on this one. This man is putting money into you. This man wants to see, he wants to see this show happen. I'm not saying that he's looking for anything like, I'm not saying that he wants some sex or anything, but I'm with Glendale. If my wife starts talking about this man who wants to produce a show and he's putting this money into her and he wants to do all these things for her, I think that's a natural question for a husband to say, well, what does he want from you? Why? Where did he come from? Why is he investing in this? I don't see where that's a problem. I know Glendale for his works, but we're talking about a regular husband right now. We're just talking about a regular husband. Right. Exactly, Raven. Game recognized game. And that's what he said. He said, I know men like him. And she kept saying, what you mean like him? What you mean like him? He said he know men like him. That's what he said. Now, maybe he know Donald in them streets. Maybe Donald's in them streets and he don't want to mess up man code, but maybe Donald got some things going on. Hold on, y'all. Now, again, I'm not saying that Donald is, but I don't think it's unreasonable for a husband to have questions. I'm just saying. And you don't want him a part of the conversation, which from Leticia's point of view, I understand why you don't want him a part of the conversation. We're going to get to that in a second. I understand why you don't want him a part of the conversation. But from a husband's perspective, I see why there's a conversation. Moving right along. It says a lot about how Glenn thinks and moves. It does. It does. But it also, make me think, what does he know? And again, I'm not saying that Donald has any nefarious issues, but I don't think it's unreasonable for a husband to have that question. That's just my opinion. Now, is it me? Or do I feel like this house that Leticia is filming in is an Airbnb? It's giving Airbnb. First of all, this ain't the same house that she filmed in season 1. And I understand people move, things happen. You don't always stay in the same house. But there was did you see that kitchen? There was no appliances on the kitchen table. Like, what kitchen doesn't have? I mean, I don't know, some people can be OCD. My cousin is OCD as a motherfucker. I mean, he is OCD, like the one that drops down in this chat sometime, baby. He OCD. He might drop down now. He might be here now and drop down. He is OCD as hell. But he even has an air fryer on the counter sometime. He's got little decorations. He's got the thing for the sink where you put the dishes. And he OCD as hell. And I was looking at that kitchen counter. I said, who don't have nothing? And you have a child and you don't have nothing on your kitchen counter? Then they went into that that dining room table, and she had nothing on that dining room table except for that little thing in the middle. Talking about some, oh yeah, thank you for bringing the flour. I was out of bananas. What you mean you was out of? You just put bananas in the middle? Quake said, I don't have nothing on my counter. I don't like having stuff out. Okay. Listen, like I said, maybe, but that's the first thing that hit me like, that's just looking real Airbnb-ish to me. That's my opinion. It's looking real Airbnb-ish to me. But neither here nor there. And listen, I ain't mad at you. Marie don't drive her real car. Leticia ain't staying in her real house, child. Whatever. I know, Cajun. They corrected me, Cajun. They corrected me, sir. They corrected me. Okay. Me, clean lines, no clutter on my counters. Okay, well, maybe some of y'all, okay, well, then I'll apologize then. Because I thought something. I mean, something on the kitchen counter. Y'all don't have nothing. You don't have a rack for the dishes to dry off. You don't have a coffee maker. You don't have nothing. You don't have a toaster. Nothing. You don't have no, there he go. Look, I told you he was going to drop down. There he go. There go my OCD cousin. Nothing? You don't have nothing on your counter? Nothing. Okay. I that's crazy, but to me, but again, I don't have no OCD. I don't have no, right. I got everything on my counter. I probably have too much shit on my kitchen counter, if I'm being honest. Now I'm on the other extreme. It's too much stuff on my kitchen counters. It's too much. I admit that. I admit it's too much shit going on over there. But anyway, so it looked like that because it was nothing. Now, my cousin, at least he does have place settings. Y'all got place settings on y'all dining room table? Do you have place settings on y'all tables? With, do y'all have that? My OCD people? There were no family pictures in the last house had. Yeah, it was just giving Airbnb. It was just giving Airbnb, you know. Ravine had some of her, oh Lord, that's y'all. I ain't fussing. I ain't getting into it with y'all. So Quake said, no, okay, I can't. Y'all be the type of people I go in y'all house and I be scared to sit down. I'd be scared to sit down, honey, at y'all table. All right. So Marie comes in and Leticia shows Marie the text messages between her and Josh. And I'm going to be honest what I think happened. This is my opinion. I think that the two of them are guilty together. I don't think there's any more guilt on one side or the other. I don't know if Leticia reached out to Josh or Josh reached out to her. I don't know who initiated a conversation. But what it sounds to me, and this is why I say with Latrice, you just get mad, and whoever you mad at, that's the way the wind blows. Because I already told y'all before, don't come to me and tell me what somebody said about me, because I'm going to ask you, why did they feel comfortable talking to you? See, don't come to me telling me so-and-so said this, and this, because what I'm thinking the whole time you telling me what they said, I'm only thinking, well, what did you say back? And why did they feel comfortable coming to you? Because people that I roll with, people that I rock with, my ops wouldn't feel comfortable going to them talking shit. Because they already know what they're going to get. Just like if somebody come to me talking shit, you know what you're getting from me. I don't want to hear it. Don't talk to me about it. Don't bring it to me. That's my girl. That's my dude. Don't do it. Don't bring it to me. So the fact that Leticia was able to pull up a whole stream of messages between her and Josh, that to me would be the bigger issue. Not who called who first. The fact that he entertained the conversation. See, and Latrice, that's the point that you're missing. You mad at Leticia talking about, well, she reached out to my former employees, but your former employees was talking to her and telling her your business. And it sounded like they was plotting for Josh to expose you. The other thing is, the same way last season, y'all was like, well, anything that happened before me and Glenn rededicated our marriage to each other don't count. Those messages were from at least 2-3 years ago. Josh wasn't even on last season. It's from the season before last. So you and Latrice weren't in a good space. You and Latrice are in a good space now. So all that stuff happened prior. That was from years ago. So again, show me something from last week. And I'm not saying that Leticia don't do it. I mean, I believe she probably did. But to me, that's what's more important to me is they talked back. So Latrice, you mad at Leticia for talking to Josh, and Josh is telling it now because I guess y'all cool again. But remember, at one point in time, y'all weren't cool. and y'all have fallen out. As I recall, you were at that reunion crying because Latrice wouldn't choose you over your husband, or at least tell the truth about what was going on between you and her and the husband, and left you high and dry. But now I guess y'all cool again. So it's a different conversation. So Marie Monroe was like, well, after seeing these messages, it gives me pause. It makes me feel like there's more to this story, which is valid. So then that damn messy ass Shante comes over and brings that old plant over there. I don't know why Shante bought a plant. Wasn't nothing wrong with Leticia. Ain't nobody get hurt. She ain't go to no emergency room. What you bringing a plant for? It ain't Mother's Day. It ain't Valentine's Day. It ain't her birthday. What you bringing a plant for? But okay then, whatever. Shante gonna try to check Marie. Talking about, I feel like I was the only one out there. I was the only one that had Leticia's back. And I looked up and I don't know where you were. And I feel like we should have been a united front and we should have been together. Marie said, whoa, hold up. First of all, I was out there. And they showed a clip of it. Marie was out there. She was pushing Latrice back. She was trying to get Latrice to calm down. She absolutely was out there. And she absolutely was trying to break it up and trying to calm Latrice down. So Shante, girl, go sit down somewhere. That's number one. Number two, baby, I am team Marie Monroe on this one. All those times Marie tried to tell you Latrice was a snake. All those times Marie told you Latrice tried to mess up her business and tried to interfere. The same thing Latrice is accusing Leticia of doing, she did season 1, trying to call herself exposing Marie's business and show that her business wasn't legit and trying to put potentially criminal stuff out there about her. Baby, Latrice did it first, season 1. And when they show all those flashbacks and all the times Marie tried to warn Leticia about Latrice and tried to tell her Latrice wasn't ish, and Leticia was sitting there defending Latrice and trying to make it seem like, no, Latrice is cool. No, that's not what happened. She said she didn't do it, Marie. She said she didn't do it. Baby, I'm team Marie on this one. She said, look, Leticia is my girl, but that's her fight. I ain't in it. Because when I tried to warn her and I tried to tell her, when that woman was doing stuff to me, she defended it. She didn't take my side. She didn't have my back. She defended it when I told her what this woman was doing to me and potentially doing to my business. So you know what? Go on and do what you got to do. I'm not in it. And I'm with her. So what's Marie supposed to do? Leticia never had Marie's back. Marie was out there by herself windmilling with Latrice for the last 6 seasons. She was by herself windmilling with Latrice. And every time Marie wanted you to take her back, you either played the middle or you was over there with Latrice. So Marie was like, look, I ain't got nothing to do with this. Now, to be fair, when they went over to Selena's house, which is the next scene, Latrice wants to have a do-over and wants to have like a little celebration at her house for Shante, because she said, Lord, not Shante, for old girl whose birthday it was. Y'all know I don't remember that child name. Selena. She had a little do-over for Selena at her house for the birthday. Marie did ask Latrice. She did question Latrice about her receipts and, well, how do you know this and who told you this? She did question her. So she did sort, but she was like, look, she tried, but how hard is she supposed to push? And she even said, look, can y'all come back from this? I mean, me and you, we done made up over less. You can't come back from this. Y'all can't work this out. I feel like Marie is still trying to work things out. She just might not be presenting it or showing up the way Shante wants her to show up. But baby Shante, you just trying to be a Belle. Let's just call a thing, girl. You're just trying to be a Belle. You're just trying to be a Belle. Let's call a thing. You said, I still don't like Marie. I don't like none of them. Now, if I had to choose one, it would be Marie, if I'm being honest. If somebody said choose one of the Bells that you absolutely... Well, no, actually, no. Honestly, right now, it would probably be Carrie or Selena. But if somebody said choose one of the OG Bells, one of the originals, which one do you like? If I had to choose one right now, at this moment, it would be Marie. But I don't like none of them. But if they say, well, out of the current cast, it will probably be Carrie. It'll probably be Carrie. Now, Carrie got on my nerves last season, but so far this season, I'm all right with Carrie. Hey, Xavier, what's up, boo? Marie started with Latrice first. She did. She absolutely did. If we go back to season 1, she absolutely did. Absolutely did. Carrie is growing on me. And like I said, right now she's just probably getting on my nerves the least. Baby, I love Carrie's mama. Carrie's mama was like, so why you with them? Why you hanging with them? If they so ratchet. We about to get to it. So, if I'm being honest, like I said, what I think happened between Leticia and Josh, and if I'm being honest, if you really want me to tell you what I think happened, if you really, really want me to break that shit down, I do believe that Josh reached out to Leticia first. If you really want me to be honest, because Josh was mad at Leticia. I mean, Josh was mad at Latrice. And I do believe that Josh went to Leticia. That's what I believe happened, in my opinion. But again, I think they were in cahoots together because when she was scrolling, they was talking. They was talking. So in a situation like that, I don't care who did it first. It don't matter to me who started it. What mattered to me is that y'all was having whole conversations. Child, ain't nobody said nothing about Fair Street. Now we did still talk about Fair Street a little bit last year when Akeisha. I'm sorry, not last season, the season before last when Akeisha, she was the only one that was talking about Fair Street. Ain't nobody said nothing about Fair Street. Hey, Miss French Kiss, what's up, boo? You have until noon. Well, it's already noon, but that's when you have until about. Oh, you probably got about an hour. You got about an hour to buy a raffle ticket. So Carrie and her husband, we meet her mom and dad, and I like her mom and dad. We find out that her parents are entrepreneurs, and that's where she got that entrepreneurial spirit from, and that her parents have always been supportive. And she's telling her parents about what happened at the birthday party or whatever. And her mama was like, so why are you with these people? It doesn't sound like these are people you need to be with. It sounds like these aren't people you need to be spending time with. Like, what you doing? So then she starts talking about her restaurant and how now she has multiple restaurants. It sounds like the only restaurant that's in trouble is the one that's in Jackson. She said the ones that are in Mississippi are doing fine. They're thriving. And she just doesn't like the fact that she can't, it's hard for her to accept the failure of one when the rest of them, and she said, I thought I could just go in because it sounds like the restaurant already existed and her partner went in they refurbished it to try to make it, and it's still not doing well. Maybe her mama said, sell it. Sell it. She said that's what life is about sometimes. Like everything ain't gonna be a hit. She said if that's not if that's not doing well and it's not prospering and you've done all that you can do, cut your losses and sell it. She said, well, I might lose some money. She said, okay. Sometimes it's, and her husband even said, sometimes you're going to lose money. But one thing for sure and two things for certain, you're going to lose more money. The longer you hold on to it and you can't turn it around, you're going to lose more money. Carrie and Akeisha would have been a good duo. They would have been. I agree. I think they would have been a good little duo because I think they have like minds when it comes to getting stuff done, being proactive, not dealing with like understanding there got to be a little bit of drama, but not too much drama. I do think they would have been good on the show. Now they probably would have clashed from here, from time to time, but I think they would have been good. Hold on, y'all. I don't know what it is about Sunday mornings and me being congested. I was fine yesterday. Remember last Sunday I was congested. Now I'm congested again. I don't know what it is about Sunday morning. Maybe I'm allergic to going back to work, child. I don't know. Anyway. So I thought that was a cute scene. I thought it was real. I thought that was, see, again, a real storyline with something that's really going on in your life and you're having these real conversations. That I love. That's what I'm here for. That I appreciate. The only lady, in my opinion, that has questionable jobs is the one everyone loves. Well, who is the one that everybody loves? Who does everybody love? Because I told you, I don't love none of them. It's the Lord. Is that the Lord? What the Lord trying to tell me by making me congested? I wish Dr. Antoinette would come. I don't want her back. Latrice seems so separated from the rest of the dolls. I don't want her back because I didn't like the way she came in hot that season. I don't know. I didn't like the way she came in hot. Leticia, I mean, everybody know Leticia got questionable businesses. She got a different business every season. I believe Josh went to Leticia first. Queens of I ain't gonna say that Queens of Messy part, but I believe that Josh went to Leticia first. I absolutely, because he was mad at Latrice. He was mad at Latrice, and I think he wanted to get back, and I think he went to the person that he thought would help him get what he wanted, which is why I say, why did he feel comfortable coming to Leticia? That's the question. But I do think he went to Leticia. Now, why he went to her, that's another conversation. What am I drinking? This is water. It's seltzer water, but it's water. That's a little bit of LaCroix. A little bit of LaCroix. Is it the Lord trying to tell me spring is near? Jackson is in Mississippi, so I'm just saying it the way she said it. Maybe, I guess, just her other restaurant. She said in Mississippi, but however she said it, but her other restaurants are doing well. So, doesn't she have one in Louisiana? Didn't we go to her restaurant in Louisiana or something like that last season? Latrice did Josh dirty that season, though, and I think Josh has done Leticia's hair at some point. Yeah, I do. I think that Josh initiated the conversation. Now, again, I think Leticia was down for it because why the pages of text messages? But yeah. And if they did, then if he did her hair, then Latrice, you lying talking about, Leticia talking about, I don't know how to get in touch with him and I don't know him like that. Child, if he had his hands in your hair, you know him. You know him. But anyway. So, next, we see Clifton came home. No, I'm sorry. Next is Leticia and her mama. Let me tell you something. I found out everything I need to know in this conversation with Leticia's mama. Everything makes sense now. Well, not everything, but a lot makes sense now. Leticia did not leave Glenn in the beginning because she couldn't. Leticia says she don't even have a bank account with her name on it because Glenn wouldn't let her. She had to get her mama to get a credit card in her name just so she would have her own money because she didn't have credit and she didn't have access to money. She had access to what Glenn gave her, when he gave it to her, and how he gave it to her. And when later on in the episode, when Glenn said the only time that she's interested in having sex is around payday, yeah, so she can get some money. And I'm not calling her a prostitute. That's not what I'm saying, y'all. But if payday is when she nicer to you, because she know that's the only time she gonna get her allowance. She ain't left Glenn because she doesn't feel confident enough to leave Glenn because of the financial hit. That's why she hustling so hard, trying to figure out a way to make some money outside of him. And that's why he's threatened by it. Because he knows that that's what he has over top of her. That's what he has over top of her, is he is financially controlling her. And that is why she out here hustling, trying to figure out something that's going to stick. So yeah, I'm gonna do brunches. Maybe I make a few $100s. Okay, well, I'm gonna do this bail bondsman stuff, make a few $100s. Okay, well, that's why she hustling, trying to figure out a way to get out. That man is controlling her financially. Now, a part of it is comfort. She's afraid because it's the only man she's known. They've been together since high school. So she's afraid. But the biggest thing is he is financially controlling her. And that is why he is so worried about what she's doing over here with these businesses. And that's why he's so worried about talking about, so she forgetting all about me when she forgetting all about me when she got these businesses. Yeah, because you're so afraid that the minute she feel comfortable enough financially to get away from you, and she can be all right with her child. Because I bet you, and you ain't gonna tell me, well, not you, you know what I'm saying. I bet you he has threatened her about her child because he can afford a lawyer with a divorce. She can't. Hold on. But it's not just whether she's making her own money now. The fact that since she's been on this show, she has needed her mother to get a credit card for her, tells me that her paycheck from this show might be going to him. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, she's on the show and she's making money. That doesn't mean she's getting it. When she told her mama, thank you for getting that credit card for me, she said, now I can get one myself. That's recent. We're not talking 7 years ago before this show started. We're talking about now. She's saying, thank you for getting that credit card for me. And I paid on it for a couple of years and I was able to establish some credit. And now I can get my own credit card. That is not old stuff. That's recent. And just because she's been on this show does not mean she's getting that money. Because if she was a housewife and she didn't even have her own bank account, when it was time to fill out them paperwork to sign on for this show, where you think that money went? Wait, so that whole season when she left him and moved out, she moved in with her mama. When she left him, she was living with her mother. And I promise you, and I don't know this to be a fact, I'm just going by the pattern of other men who control their women financially. I promise you that's how he got her to come back. Money. She probably wasn't getting anything from him. She didn't move out and get her own place and get her own. She moved in with her mama. I work my fingers to the bone before I let some ninja tell me what I can and can't have and rely on him for my life. And that's fine. You're not her. You're not her, but there's a whole lot of women who find themselves in this situation. And we're not talking about in the 1950s. We're talking about right now in present day. There's a lot of women, and sometimes it's gradual. You don't even realize it's happening. Remember, they've been together since high school. She didn't go to college. She came straight out of high school, got married, had a baby. Did you hear when she said her mother told her to get a bank account and she was like, yeah, but you know Glenn wasn't going for that. See, little baby, you're not going to ask permission. You're just going to do it. The fact that you heard Latrice say, well, you know Glenn wasn't going for that. She's in a different mindset than you are. We've got to stop comparing who we are to other people and what other people will do versus what we'll do. Sometimes women find themselves in this position and they don't even know how they got there, but they just know, damn, I woke up one day and I realized I had no control over anything in my life. I'm sure that's not how she started. She started off thinking, well, this is what a good wife does, and I'm going to stay home, and I'm going to take care of my child, and I'm going to be a housewife, and he makes enough money to pay this. He got us in this nice house. I got a car to drive when I need it. There's money to buy groceries. If I need money to go shopping, there's money to go shopping. she probably didn't feel like it was anything wrong with it in the beginning. And then one day you look up and you realize, damn, how did I get here? But little baby, you can't put yourself in her shoes because that's not the path you took. You went to college, you make your own money. So no, you can't go back there, but that's not where you started. That's where she started. And then she said that her mother's been married 6 times. So in her mind, she was like, I'm not going to be my mother. I don't want to be married 6 times. I don't want to have men coming in and out of my life. See, you got to take that into consideration too. She grew up seeing men coming in and out of her mother's life. And like she said, at the first sign of trouble, my mama let him go. She probably was, I'm not going to be that person. I'm going to work through my marriage in the good times and in the bad times. I'm going to work through my marriage. So when I listened to her have that conversation with her mother, I said, oh, it all makes sense now. I get it. Makes perfect sense now. Remember when she said she left him, she couldn't buy a hamburger. Debit card was probably connected to his bank account. He cut the debit card off. She said she didn't have a credit card. Didn't have no bank account in her name. And I get it. The majority of us wouldn't find ourselves in that situation, but that's the situation she's in. However, I'm going to tell you where we are now. She's ready to leave that man. She is ready to divorce him. She's at the top of the hill. She's right there at the top of the hill. She just ain't quite tipped over yet. She's right there. Because you heard her tell her mother that. She said something, I'm paraphrasing. She said something along the lines of, yeah, I'm ready to file. And then she stopped. She stopped short of saying file for divorce, but she said, yeah, I'm ready. And she even said to her mother when they were doing that renewal last season, she said, I don't remember any of that. She said, I just repeated the words because I knew that's what he wanted me to say. I wasn't into that. So again, she ready to go. It's that last little, she there. She right there, y'all. But it's that last boom. You don't believe she'll ever leave Glenn? And she may not. Because again, she's at the top of the mountain and she may not ever go over the top. But I think she's right there at the top. And I'm going to tell you why when we get to the end. We will get there in a second. This scene with Latrice cooking for Cliff, first of all, baby, look, Miss Gigi, that's what my mama used to tell me. It's a piss poor rat that don't have a hole to run in. My mama used to tell me that all the time. All the time. My mother used to tell me that. She said it's a piss poor rat that don't have a one hole to run in. My mama used to tell me that all the time. She's trying to find a business so she can open up a business account, which is why he can't disagree with her and he won't have access to the money. That's why, and that we're gonna Miss French Kiss, absolutely. We're gonna get to that in a minute. This scene, first of all, how long was this Negro in Colombia? That's number one. Number one, how long was this Negro in Colombia? Number two, because you done filmed half the damn season with him in Colombia. So how long has he been gone? Number two, you talking about something, you cooking your man a meal, talking about I can cook. But then you're going to say, I don't do all of this. But I mean, I can cook, but I don't know how to do this. Well, I can cook. Girl, you said the butter. Do you understand? I know there's an expiration date on everything, but I have never paid attention to an expiration date on butter. Baby, you said the butter was expired. The instant mashed potatoes were expired. You was cooking that man a steak in the pan on top of the stove, and the oil had turned brown, which means it was burnt. No, Cliff was gone the last episode. He was gone the last 2 episodes. I thought maybe we're only on episode 3. So he was in the first episode and he was gone the last 2 episodes. But I swear it seemed like so much has happened since he's been gone, child. We done seen so many things have gone on since Selena's birthday party, and we had the It just seemed like a lot happened, but maybe it just, I mean, we only in episode 3, child, so I guess it wasn't that much. Latrice, you should have just had a chef come in, baby. You should have just paid for a chef to come in, because I know good and daggone well, unless Amanda saved the day. It looked like Amanda came in and helped you out, child. It looked like Amanda came out to help you out, because, baby, and he tried to say, you saw when he took that first bite, and he saw that camera on his face, so he was like, it's good. It's good. It didn't sound like it was good. It didn't sound like it was good, honey. It did not sound like it was good, but okay, so it was good, child. So you tell Cliff about what happened down to the party. And I love how Cliff didn't even buy into the whole, because what you was trying to do was you was trying to get Cliff activated. Because Cliff was like, that's beneath you. Why did you act like that? And she was like, what you mean that's beneath you? He was like, you calling people bitches and stuff and you yelling and stuff. He was like, why would you engage in that? I mean, I did do that. And so then she was like, but Glendale was getting all in my face, and that's just not how you approach a woman. He was like, well, you know why he doing that? He's desperate. He's desperate to save his marriage. He know he been out there messing up, and he losing his marriage, and he is desperate to lose his marriage. He was like, that's why he was doing that. I love that Cliff didn't jump up and be like, oh, he got in my wife's face. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Because that's what you wanted, Latrice. You were trying to activate him. You was trying to get him to go yell or go get in Glenn's face. That's what you wanted. Because you already told the rest of the ladies that you could be cordial, you could be in the same space, but you didn't want to talk to Glenn. So you was trying to get Cliff activated. And Cliff was like, I know, right? We actually agreeing with the husbands, and we know these husbands ain't ish. Let's be clear. Just because I'm agreeing with Glenn and Cliff don't mean we know they ain't ish. Collectively together, they ain't ish. Right. Cliff responded. He was real the way he responded. He absolutely was. So this last scene we had with Latrice and Glenn. Like I said, Latrice, if you don't want that man no more, just let that man go. Now, Glenn brought up the fact that I already talked about this, but I'm going to just repeat it. He already brought up the fact that he don't trust. He brought up the fact that he don't trust Donald, and he think Donald trying to get something for nothing. He don't understand why she doesn't want him at any of the business meetings, and why she's trying to keep him out of the business. But like I just explained, why she's trying to keep him out of the business, because she's trying to get some control, and she's trying to get some financial independence. That's why she's keeping him away, and he knows it, and he's threatened by it, and that's why he's threatened by the fact, and that's why he's threatened by this come up. I put that in air quotes of Leticia, right? He's threatened by that. So then Leticia starts talking about she thinks that they need to be celibate for a while because she's trying to figure some things out. I said Latrice, my bad, Leticia. Listen, I ain't no Glenn fan. And personally, I ain't mad at you if you decide to leave him. But that's crazy as fuck. I'm with Glenn on this one. If you don't want to be with me no more, just rip off the Band-Aid. But he said, ain't no way in hell you expect me to be celibate with my wife? That's crazy as hell. Like I said, if you don't want to sleep with that man no more, you need to move out. Because that's crazy to me. You already said y'all sleeping in separate rooms, but it sounds like when he get in the mood or when you get in the mood, then y'all do what y'all do, and then y'all go back to y'all separate corners. But at the end of the day, Leticia, you have to understand how crazy that sounds. And then they must have cut certain things out, because when Glenn was in the car and they were on the phone, because Glenn left. When Glenn was in the car and he got on the phone with her, he was like, you talking about you don't know if you want my spirit inside of you, and you don't know if you want me inside of you because you trying to figure out and cleanse yourself. See, they cut all of that out. But I believe Leticia said something like that. But that's crazy as hell. And I'm sorry, I don't care. I understand that Glenn, and like I said, I ain't mad at you for wanting to leave that man. Let's be clear. I'm not defending Glenn, but if we marry, we marry. Now, if we're going to be celibate, then we're going to be separated. And like he said, I ain't about to come home and be dry humping on my wife. That's crazy as hell. And he's not wrong. Leticia, you're going to have to shit or get off the pot, my love. V. Spencer says, Leticia is lying. They are fully coupled up, and she pulls this shit for filming, which confuses Glenn. And that could be true, too. That could be true, too. But I'm not going to be celibate, sleeping next to my husband every night. Not on purpose. Not on purpose. But anyway, that was pretty much the episode, y'all. It's 12:31. At 1 o'clock, we're going to go live. We're going to talk about the NAACP Awards, and we're going to talk about this Christian Post article with a little bit of information on this lawsuit with Larry Reed and Bishop Bernard Jordan, child. We're going to talk a little bit about it, honey. We're going to talk a little bit about it. And I will see y'all in about 30 minutes. Let me get the whole thing set up and head on over there, honey. And then we're going to also do the drawing for the raffle. So we got to do that too. Okay. All right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.